Hi everyone. It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And I totally agree to this very famous quote by Tony Robbin. And as a coach, I encourage people to follow the process of rational decision making where they are making significant decisions in their life. So, how does this rational decision making really work? Now, the essential thing that you need to remember is to have sufficient time. And if you are taking some of the most important decisions in your life, I see no reason why you should not have sufficient time to go through this process. If you are determined to go abroad and study and settle there, I can't see why you can't put in 16 minutes following this process. The technique is really simple, and let me walk you through it. The first thing that you would want to do is to write down the problem or the opportunity or the situation that you want to make a decision on. Then it's important to determine what choices or alternatives you have. List them down. Once you have all the options written down, then you need to think about the consequence of each of these choices for yourself and for the others involved, right? This will fundamentally help you to understand the choices that you're making are aligned to your own core value and the impact that it will have on the others. I will give you an example. There was a girl who was having a conversation with me the last couple of days back, and she had a dilemma. She had managed to get into a top college in Canada for her master's, and she would eventually be able to get a great job over there and probably settle there. Her parents were old, and they're living in Chennai, and her alternative was to stay in the current job, but be near her parents, be in the same city. Again, this is a difficult situation. If you think about it, there's no right or wrong answer to this. With a better job, she could easily ask her parents to shift with her, look after them well, and she would be able to grow in her career. On the other hand, if her parents remained where they were, they would be comfortable, right? They would be happy to live in their existing house. They would not have to make huge lifestyle changes, which are very difficult at times for people beyond a certain age. But her career would definitely take an impact. It would probably slow down. The process of aligning your choices to the core values is essentially to help you determine that the choices that you're today making, will they keep you happy in the long run? Do they make you happy now, and will they keep you happy in the long run? You could ask, obviously then you could ask, if there are other things that you could learn about the situation or the other additional information that you could gather, and you could also take help of others to solve for the situation. And once you have all of this information, you would have to make the final decision. Now, this was great to make personal decisions that we need to do, but like I said, it works only when you have to decide about your life and you have adequate time. But let's talk about it from a business scenario, right? As a business leader, most of us are faced with dozens of decisions that needs to be made every day, right? So this kind of model really does not work, right? And if you think about it, you're sitting in an organization, you don't have the time and the ability to kind of go through this whole process. Now, so what do happen? As you grow, as the roles grow, it becomes more complicated. There are more ramifications for your decisions. Sometimes it's also not about making a right decision, but just make some decision. So as a business leader over the years, I have developed and used 3 different styles that I think work in different scenarios. And as leaders, you can try them out. The first one is what I call the command decision making. This is where, as a leader, I make decisions without consulting my team or directs. Now, you must be wondering, hold on, that quite does not sound right. But for me, this is really effective, especially when things are moving quickly and the team is looking for immediate guidance from me. They're looking up to me, so I can't go back to them and ask for ideas. Sometimes this is an important and essential style because in a crisis situation, and you need to have immediate action, there is no time to consult. You cannot go to a team. And so this is a good course of action for those kind of situations. This also ensures that you don't add additional pressure on the team in crisis, right? Because then you make the decisions and you allow them to focus on their jobs, and so they can execute them flawlessly. I call this is the first one. The second one, what I call is more of the collaborative decision making. And this is what it just exactly sounds like. Rather, I gather my team around me, I request feedback and insight, I still make the final call, but I'm armed with proper data and make a more informed decision. With this style, and really with anything else, any other styles, if you think about it, the key thing that you need to remember is to avoid surrounding yourself with people that always agree with you. You absolutely must have people on your team who can strongly argue, whether you accept their advice, but they will strongly argue the other side. It will help you to clarify the decision that you make. The third that I use, but not very common among a lot of other leaders, is what I call the more convenient style of decision making. Now, the reason I call it convenience is because I have surrounded myself with a trusted group of people or colleagues, and I kind of delegate some of this decision making over to people. And I ensure that some of these decisions I don't make at all. Now, this has its own advantages, right? It helps to empower my team. It helps to ensure that they are able to grow and make decisions, and I can judge them later on, or I can make decisions about them. But also, it helps me to have my own sanity. So by giving it to them, I'm building up a better management team. By giving the ability for them to make the decisions, they gain confidence. And as their responsibility increases, this gives them the confidence that they can do the job well and make decisions. Now, it's also a great way to avoid, one of the things I've realized is also a great way to avoid decision traps. We've always done it this way. So new people, decision makers will always look at the problem in different ways. And so as you grow in your business venture, you could look at this as one of the things that you could do. Now, as you come across and face tough decisions, and every day you have to do them, the key thing that you have to remember is to be calm under pressure, trust your team that you have built, and use the data to the best ability and best possible decisions that you can come. I was recently reading a book called The Unbearable Lightness of Being, in which the protagonist Thomas says, we can never know what to want, because living in only one life, we can neither compare it with our previous lives nor perfect it in our lives to come. And for me, I look at it from a decision. It's the same thing with any decisions. In hindsight, you can look back and judge, and you can say, no, you've gone right, you've gone wrong, but you don't really know how the other decision would have really panned out. Any successful business leader that you talk to will tell you that they have gone through or made many wrong decisions throughout their lifetime. But each of those decisions have always helped them to become better leaders. They have learned some things from that experience. And above all, is to it's important to continue to make tough decisions and have a little faith that things will work out well eventually. So think about these techniques. Let me know if they work for you. Try them out. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel on YouTube to get leadership, tips and techniques and updates like this every week. And have a fantastic day ahead. All the very best.